Okay, so this is the template Amazon has given, and we are going to work with this template, but I'll just take you briefly through what it entails here. Okay, so let me just zoom this in so that we can read together. So you see the black solid lines is the trim size. This is where your book will cut when it's being produced to make the final trim size. This part. So this is where we'll cut, and the rest of the red here will fold inside the book. The blue dashed line in between here is the spine fold. That's to say when the book is folded or is closed, that is the spine of the book cover area, the blue dotted lines. Okay. Then the blue dashed or dotted line is the hinge edge, this part, sorry, the hinge edge, and this is the spine fold in between the two. Then the white area is the live area, or let me say the part that your text, images, or your cover should be. The red area is out of life or the wrap, like I mentioned earlier for this part. This is also going to be a wrap. Then they always will tell you to remove the template layer from your final work. Whatever is visible in your data artwork will also be visible in your printed work. And so this side is giving us what kind of dimensions we chose, premium color, and all of that. So now back to our work, and then I'm going to show you how to go about the cover. We've already done the design. Our team member in charge of artworks has already done the design, and I have the uh Photoshop version. So I'll just load it here. And it's saying it's just from the Canva version that we had the Photoshop version. So it's not any big deal. You can still design your cover with Canva. Save the front cover, save the back cover, and then with um Photoshop you can design something like that, or even still with Canva. But I find the Photoshop to be quite easier with this stuff than Canva. But I would also try and do another video, or Hilda can do another video. Hilda is the one in charge of our designs at Westcott. Can do another video with Canva explaining how to go about these things. It's basically going to be the same thing, but I'm a bit old school. I used to do more Photoshop before I got introduced to Canva. So uh, just bear with me. I'm going to take you through this. But if you have Photoshop, you can also use it just as I am using it. And so I'll copy. This is the front cover. It's not linked together. I'll just drag and drop that here. And the reason why I would like to use Photoshop especially is because of the transformations. Because now I'd have to make sure this fits exactly into the space. So I'm transforming the image and I don't want to lose much quality. So I use Control plus T, or you can go to edit and then transform in Photoshop. So I want it to cover the white space, and voila, that is what we have. Now I'll pick up what I have here, drop that here as well, transform, make sure it's in the white margins. Good. I'm done with that as well. Now just pick up the texts and drop that here. You can decide to add the author's name somewhere. Any design you want, that's going to be on the spine of the book. And so from there, I think that I would end it there. I'm going to use the rectangle tool with a color template just like what I have in my book. So I'm using this template to cover the outer layer, the places that are outside the book. And now I'll just drag that to below the book. I'm going to hide all the other layers apart from that so that I can trim and have it just in the same line as the document. Great, great. So I'll show the other layers and I think we are good to go having a cover like this. And like Amazon advice, let us hide uh, this one and you can flatten this into one. Sorry, I added. You can merge all the visible layers. Okay, now I'm going to save this. Control Shift and S or file save as. Well, I'm so used to the keypad. Let me go through the normal way. So save as, and I'll give it a name. Like that. Then choose the PDF format because Amazon will want you to use the PDF, Photoshop PDF. I'm going to use the CMYK because it's going to be printed. Save. I'll make sure I don't compress the output. Everything should be left as it is. If this option is ticked, untick it because it makes the file size so huge. We don't want that. The larger your file size takes a long time to upload and takes a long time to view on the website. So I think the whole stuff is done. I'll come back to my page where I'm working on the manuscript. I'm going to upload the manuscript now. So just so that was the case cover. So open there. So it's uploading, and this may take some time depending on your internet connectivity and the size of your file. Oh, Ghana's internet really sucks. And then we can always look at the case cover we did whilst you're waiting for it to upload. So this is how it's going to be. And then we can also look at the Word document. That's how it's going to be. Let's see if our table of contents really works. Wow, it let me there, right? So no need scrolling to page 300. Right from here, I can just check page 295 and I'm there. Okay. So that's about it. So I think we are on track. My upload is done. I'll do another video on the whole process uploading from scratch. But you start by giving it the details. I'm on the second page and I make sure I assign a free KDP. That's Amazon's ISBN has been assigned already. And then the type of paper you want. So I want the premium color with the white interior. The trim size 8.25 times 11. So we must make sure that our document was actually, yes, 8.25 times 11. Let's see. And the bleed settings, the bleed simply means that I'm using that because there were images in the book. So it's just to help you so that if the images go beyond the trim, it will still be printed. You still have it go off in that page. And that's very important for the kind of book that we had there because of the section breaks, the chapters that were designed that way. So I now upload what I did here. Okay. So this is what I was explaining. Realize that in this book, each of the chapters, so let me pick any chapter at all. Chapter 1 has an image here. So in case this image goes beyond the trim, if you don't bleed, the cover will be rejected. Sorry, the manuscript will be rejected, and you don't want that to happen. So you can always bleed, especially books where you have images, so that if it extends a little bit beyond the trim, the interior trim, where the text has to be as designed by Amazon, it will not be rejected. In cases where you don't want to bleed or you don't have a lot of text, you can take away the bleeding. So it's still loading, still loading. Yeah, and then these are the instructions. Yeah, once we wait for it to load, we can go through this. So for various stream sizes, it gives you whether or not these particular streams can be published on other sites, because for most of the publishing sites we have, aside they publishing on their own platforms, they can also sell to other platforms for you. So Amazon like this, you can publish your book and they can also sell to other platforms like uh, Goodreads. There are a number of platforms, Apple Books and others. But once it's going there, your royalties also reduce. We'll come to that in a separate video anyway. Your royalties will reduce as you are expanding your network, but it also helps you to get a large readership. But there are also other ways of going about it anyway. So yeah, that's the instruction here. If you enroll your paperback in expanded distribution, as in they expanding the distribution to other sites, the royalty rate is 40%. However, if it's not that, your royalty rate is 60%. So that's about 20% of your royalty going into expanded readership. Okay, so our file is ready, it's processing. And over here, you are supposed to check this box if you've included a barcode. So let's look at our design and I'll show you something here. You realize that there's no barcode here. And that's because we've not bought our own ISBN, but we are relying on Amazon to give us an ISBN. So if you look at the templates that Amazon gave, that's this template, you would notice that this portion is supposed to be left blank because that is the portion where the ISBN is going to be placed. Alright. So if you have any text, you should make sure this portion is left blank. Alright. So the upload is done. Then now there's a new regulation. Did you use AI tools in creating your text, images, or translations? Once I made changes, I have to confirm that I have not added on any AI document. And then now I launch. Great. So we don't have much problem. I think I should have done one video where there were issues and then we'll try and resolve it. But, but I mean, there was an issue initially uploading this, and that's why we are doing it now here at Westcorp. And we do these services also, but at a fee anyway. but we also do book writing at a separate fee. So it's a whole lot uh, of technicalities with uploading. But if you follow these simple rules I've shared in the video, I'm sure you should be able to do that easily. So over here, Amazon is going to tell you that the fonts are not properly embedded in your file. That's to say, some of the fonts in your book are not really embedded, and they would normally fix that for you. But where the issues concerning your front cover, like some of this text is going out of that, your about section is going out of the bleed, out of the trim, then you would have real issues. In those cases, you would see error here and you cannot proceed to approve what you have done. Okay. So let's just look at the corrections that have been made. You realize that the errors were just the page numbers that have been fixed, and it's not any issue. It's not, they are not big issues. These are all just page numbers that have been fixed. It's not the actual text going out of line, right? So we are good to go. I'll just approve this to approve that you accept that they should embed those texts inside for you. And we are good to go. Yeah. So save. Just before saving, now look at the cost. This is the printing cost of your own book. It's going to cost Amazon $29.65 to print a hard case cover of the book. And so this should just inform you how much you price your book. So if they are going to charge $29.65, how much should that book of 300 pages cost? Okay, how much? What was the price? 20, yeah. So let's say 31.99. Later, if the person wants to upgrade, they can. Okay, so because of the price, Amazon is saying that the minimum should be 49.42 because they consider a number of things like the royalties you will get, the um, other things. So let's give this maybe 59.99. Let's see how much we get in terms of royalty. So for each sale of the book, we are going to get just $6. That's not much, but let me just leave this that way. Um, I think the author, my work is just to upload it. The prices can be reviewed anytime, anytime. So yeah, 59.99 is fine. $6 is okay. Okay. So that's about that. Just take a screenshot so that I can send it to you. So that is that. We are good to go. Publish the book, and it's done. Okay, so I'll do another video and we'll look at other areas. So the book is done. Right. The next thing to check is check your mail from time to time. Within 72 hours, they would get back to you whether the book was accepted and is live, or you have to do some editing to what you have done. And always they will tell you why it was rejected, if it was, what the corrections would be. Normally, if there are errors, it comes from the cover design, or sometimes if you have a different author name in your book and then a different author name, a pen name that you have used, they would ask you to rectify all of that. If there are errors in spellings and grammar, you'll be notified once you even upload the book. I should have shown you that, but there were no errors. So if there were errors, we would have been prompted to correct that before we finally push that in. Okay, so done.